Ooh, y'all want to get in a fight? Phone usage for kids. I don't think we've ever talked about this. Phone usage for kids. What is my rules for phone usage for kids? What's yours, James?
My kids don't.
Ooh, that was a good.
I would have prepared for this if I'd known you were going to toss us so many questions.
All right.
Our kids don't use phones, and they won't for as long as I can help it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to just jump in and not have any experience and healthy boundaries with it. So, actually, that's not true. They use phones they shoot home movies all the time with our old phones. So, but they're not like on social media or on the internet or anything.
Yeah.
We let our son have a phone when he started coming home by himself because we don't have a home phone.
Ah.
But we started with.
So $25 a month was worth the soul of your child? I could see that.
Yeah, but give and take.
Give and take.
We started with just only an old phone with no SIM card. And then when he turned, I think 15, we let him. But I am all up in it. I look through it all the time. He knows that. I'll come up and grab it when he's talking, looking, scrolling. My husband's IT, so he can't get away with much.
Can't get away with anything. Yeah. So my rule of thumb, get this. My son's in 5th grade. He came home a few weeks ago. 100% of the kids in his class not only have smartphones, they're 10. They all have these TikTok accounts, and they all are hanging out back and forth. And he discovered live that he's being left out of all this stuff. It was hard, but the hardest thing was I thought I knew what's going on. This is madness that a 10-year-old has that kind of access. So in my house, man, like I'm like James. James and I are clearly better parents than Kelly, but no phone.
To be fair, our kids aren't
kids.
as old as Kelly's yet. So
Yeah.
Come on, listeners don't
I
know
have a teenager
that.
now. My son has no social media, and he will not for quite some time. That's not even an option.
It's just, man, the data is so clear. If you have a 10-year-old, don't let him have social media.
Even a 15-year-old, don't let him.
No, we're just in this era of digital babysitters. They're growing up being babysat by other 5th graders. It's just insane. It's insane. So I will hand them a phone if they are FaceTiming like their grandparents or an aunt or something like that. And we do have old phones like you guys have where they download books from the library, like books they can listen to, audiobooks. But other than that, they don't even ask. It's the data is so clear on how destructive this is for kids. And now we're in a world where a 12-year-old says something, texts something, and that's going to keep him from getting a job when he's 40. And I want my kids to be kids as long as they can be. This has just gotten very unforgiving, the world, overnight. And so it's just not worth the risk. We have talked about Kelly. This is awesome. I was on a ladder, and it was just me and my son was at home, and I took a step, and the ladder, it was like whoosh. I thought, oh, this is it. I'm coming down. And because I'm part ninja, I stopped it. That's not at all. It just stopped miraculously. And my son was looking at me. His eyes were really wide, and he was probably 5 or 6. And I said, if I had just fallen and gotten hurt, what would you have done? And he looked at me for a second and sprinted to his room and got an old, trashed, cracked, like plastic flip phone. And he's like, I would have called 911. And I was like, man, I'd be dead, right? So we've talked about getting a landline. We just haven't done it, but we're going to do that soon.